Good morning, students. So here I am, Salesh Rathod, again to teach you subject science for class 5th. Students, before our mini vacation, we have started already this chapter number 5, solids, liquids and gases. Okay, with the topic that matter. What is matter, molecules and atoms. So now here we are with second topic, that is solubility of solids, liquids and gases in water. So let us start our topic, but before that let us sum up that what is matter. Already we have discussed that matter is a substance which has mass and which occupies some space. Thus those substances are known as matter. If you see anything in our surrounding, this all the things, either it is in a solid form, liquid form or in a gaseous form, they all have mass and occupies some space. Hence these all substances are nothing but matter. Okay. Molecules. Yes, matter is made up of tiny particles called molecules. Now let us come to our topic, solubility. But before we understand this topic, we should know the terms soluble and insoluble. What is soluble and what is insoluble substance? When a substance dissolves in water, dissolves means completely gets soluble in water, then such substances are known as a soluble substance. For example, here you can see salt. When we dissolve 1 or 2 tablespoons of salt in 1 glass of water, after some time when you will stir it, you will find that salt is no more present in water. Actually it is present, but you will not be able to observe it as it was looking earlier in the spoon, isn't it? Why? Because it has completely dissolved in water. But on the other hand, when you will try to dissolve sand in water, then though if you will stir it for a long time and if you will make it stable and if you will try to settle down it inside water, even after a long time also you will find that sand will not get dissolved in water. It will settle down at the bottom of the container or a glass. Thus this shows that sand is insoluble in water, whereas salt is soluble in water. Okay. Now here is a page number 45 of your textbook on which this topic is given that we are discussing over here. Now let us understand some more few terms: solute, solvent and solution. Here we have taken already that example of salt and water. Here we will take example sugar. When we will take sugar, a little amount of substance which is going to dissolve, that substance which is going to dissolve is known as a solute, and a substance which is dissolving the solute is known as solvent. So sugar which we have taken in a little amount which is going to dissolve, that sugar is called solute, and a liquid which is dissolving the solute inside it, that liquid is known as solvent. Thus when this solute and solvent combine and mix properly, they form a new substance called solution. Okay, it is nothing but a mixture of these two different substances. Thus here sugar and water have formed a solution which is known as sugar solution. So these are 3 new terms: solute, solvent and solution. Again I am saying solute means a substance which is going to be dissolved, whereas solvent is a substance which is dissolving the solute in it, and solution is nothing but a thoroughly mixed substance of 2 different substances, solute and solvent, that is water and sugar. Or you can take salt solution also. In salt solution the solute will be salt, whereas solvent will be water, and the solution which is formed is known as a salt solution. As you can see over here, sweet water has been formed by mixing sugar and water. So here sugar is a solute, whereas water is a solvent. Now another term, that is saturated solution. Now what do you mean by saturated solution? Students, I told you that if you will add 1 or 2 tablespoons of sugar or salt in water, it will get dissolved, isn't it, in 1 glass of water. But if we take more amount of same substance, same solute in water, in same amount of water, then you will see that it will not dissolve. Means 1 or 2 tablespoons will get dissolved. But if you will add 3rd or 4th tablespoon of same substance, either say sugar or salt, then it will not dissolve in water. This condition of solution is known as a saturated solution. Why it is happening? Because see here, when we are adding another substance, solute inside solvent, there is a gap between the molecules of solvent. This gap is filled up by solute substances, by the molecules of solute, isn't it? But after some time, what happened? That all these space, all these gaps which were there are filled up by the molecules of solute. Hence, no more space is present over there to dissolve more solute. This condition is known as a saturated condition of solution, when no more substance can be dissolved. Okay. Now let us come to another topic. Solutions can be a mixture of liquids, gases and solids. As you know that in sugar solution there was mixture of solid substance sugar and liquid substance water. It can be gases also. For example, cool drinks which you are drinking, isn't it? That cool drinks contain gases dissolved in water. You know, if you take just any cool drink, either you say Sprite or Coca-Cola or Pepsi, Thumbs Up, these, when you will open it, when you will open that closed bottle, you will see that some bubbles are coming up. That bubbles are nothing but gases, isn't it? And which gas it is? It is a carbon dioxide gas. Again, soluble substance, its definition. I hope you have already understood the term soluble substance. Yes, here you can see some soluble substance in water. Salt, sugar, these are the soluble substances. Yes, there are more substances which are soluble in water. You can have a list of that. You can make it at home. Then comes insoluble substance. Sand. Yes. Any more substance, if you can think out, you can make a list at home. I will ask you later on also. So the conclusion is that yes, sugar and salt dissolved in water, forming sugar and salt solutions, whereas sand on the other hand did not dissolve in water. Now comes up liquid. Yes, liquid. For liquid we are using another term, not soluble and insoluble. We are using the term miscible and immiscible liquids. Same way like soluble substance in solid, we are having miscible liquids. Two liquids that completely dissolves in each other are known as miscible liquids. Whereas just like insoluble, we are having immiscible liquids. Two liquids that do not miscible with each other, which do not dissolve in each other, are called immiscible liquids. For example, see here milk. Milk is soluble, means it is miscible in water, thus it will mix with water completely. Hence it is known as a miscible liquid. Juice. Any fruit juice, if you will mix with water, you will not be able to separate the two different layers of such liquids. Hence they will be miscible with each other. Hence these liquids are known as miscible liquids. But here you can see some liquids which are immiscible. For example, oil, petrol, kerosene. These are immiscible liquids, means it will not get mixed with each other. Here you can see two different layers of two different liquids. Down you will see water and upper layer is a liquid which is like oil or petrol. Hence they are immiscible liquids. They will not get mixed completely with water. Some gases soluble in water like oxygen, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, etc. are the gases which is soluble in water. Students, when you try to boil water, don't try at home, but when you have observed that when your mama is trying to boil water, some small bubbles are coming up at the top of the water, isn't it? This is nothing but gases. Which gas it is? Oxygen gas, which is dissolved in water. Yes, you know, fish, which is fish or any aquatic animal which is living inside water, they are absorbing this dissolved oxygen which is present in water body. Okay. Carbon dioxide, yes, as I have told you earlier also that some cold drinks which contains that bubbles, when you will open the container, that bottle, you will see this type of bubbling, isn't it? These bubbles are nothing but carbon dioxide gas which is present inside that cold drink. So I hope that you students have understood the term solubility, solute, solvent, solution and saturated solution. Thank you dear students, and I hope that you will learn this again at home. Thank you everyone.